We are at International Leadership University, and we are very privileged to be with Dr. Kiruhi. Thank you for having us at ILU.
You're welcome.
Maybe we can start with you introducing yourself.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Dr. Muthoni Kiruhi. I'm the Vice Chancellor here at the International Leadership University. I've been here for about 2 years now, and I'm very excited by the things that I'm seeing happen in terms of growing towards the future that we desire to really be able to bring impact to the society and especially across Africa.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
I'll be asking you a fun question at some point. I want to know, what does it take to become a VC? Maybe I want to become one.
Okay.
Maybe we can start with just a general background of ILU.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, thank you. The International Leadership University is about 40 years old today.
Wow.
In terms of our contribution to higher education.
Yes.
Our very first students was in 1981, so that's I'm talking about 40 years. And but for about 30 odd years, 33 years thereabout, we simply offered master's degrees.
Okay.
So we're a small institution because at that point in time, very few people would afford to be able to get to a master's degree.
Yeah.
But we were good at what we did. We were known by churches, by others that we served at that point.
Yeah.
And we have many graduates from that time in about 20 countries of Africa.
Wow.
But in the last 8 years or so, we've been offering bachelor's programs and now even PhD programs. And so we have the full complement now of a full university.
So you are full university.
Now we are full university.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
When the founder started in 1981, what was the vision? What was the goal?
Yeah, I think initially the vision was mainly to support the church in Africa as a growing continent. The church was young. We needed many leaders trained at higher levels. And so we wanted to complement the efforts of many denominational other seminaries. But as time has grown on, now we realize that space then is not just leadership for the church in terms of the pastorate, but Christians even in the marketplace and all sectors of society. So today we look at ourselves as developing leaders of integrity to spearhead holistic transformation in every sector of society.
Awesome. I like two ones, integrity. I like holistic or wholesome transformation. Why integrity?
Oh, that is at the heart of Africa's challenge, because we are the most endowed continent, by way of natural resources, people, land. So Africa has, sometimes when we pray and we ask God to bless Africa more, I'm not sure what else God can do for us that he hasn't done already.
He's already done it.
He's already done it. We have everything it takes to be the premier continent. But then, of course, we lack now the means to really turn these opportunities into actual well-being for our people. So that's why we talk about holistic transformation, because then it's a question of turning the material resources into quality living standards.
Awesome.
Yeah.
ILU in 3 words.
Yes.
We've said that back then you have limitation of you can only put 3 words in this space.
That's okay. So we do have our 3 words.
So what are those 3 words for ILU?
That hopefully most staff will tell you. One of them is leadership.
Yes.
So whatever we do, we want to model, but also, of course, raise leaders. Secondly, is formation. We realize that we are in journey, in process. And so ILU is becoming, the individuals at ILU are becoming, we want to raise leaders who are in the journey to becoming their fullest potential. So formation, leadership formation. Thirdly is impact. Whatever we do, we want it to have impact, so that it brings about the transformation that we desire for the continent.
Awesome. What makes you special, ILU? So, of course, I know we have many other Christian universities. What makes what you do special? Because I know you must be unique in some way.
Well, I think so. I think first of all, I would say is our niche. We usually characterize ourselves, maybe this is the easy way of saying it. If you think of the Kenyan police force, it has maybe 50,000 soldiers or policemen and women. But they have a small unit called the Rec Squad that has only 500.
ILU, the Rec unit, yes.
So we think of ourselves as a specialized unit to bring about something that we believe is needed. So we possibly will never become a big university sending out hundreds of thousands of students just in terms of training for the job market, although that has its place. We believe we are called to raise the leaders and who can go into those spaces and create those opportunities for all the other thousands of people of Kenya, or Kenyans and Africans for that matter.
Awesome. I like that niche. Makes sense. And it does make sense when we walk in the calling that God has given us.
That's true.
You're in the training industry, in the service industry, because you're offering a service. Training is a service. What's the hardest thing you've experienced? Of course, I'm going to ask some questions specifically for Dr. Kiruhi, but now for ILU, what has been tough?
Well, they say when you are 40, you kind of have gone through some blues, you know? That's why they say sometimes life begins at 40.
It does.
But also at that point in time, you are not enough to have made enough mistakes. So we've had our share, you know, whereby we made some wonderful decisions and, you know, were able to see growth and impact. But also there are times that we kind of lost a bit of our focus. In fact, we are doing a bit of that refocusing so that we are back into our niche. So I think that has been hard on the institution, the fact that we have a big name, but or an old age, but sometimes not always look our age. And that sometimes can be an issue. But secondly, I would say that, of course, the economic pressures that have only been accentuated by COVID make it harder. And because our niche tends to be people who are in the leadership space, so they tend to be often mid-career people, late-career people. So those, and for them, when the money is scarce, then education is not a necessity, it's an extra. So that's been difficult. And send their own children to school because they have sometimes their own children are also in university and so on. But I think thirdly, and I think this is sad, is also, of course, lack of integrity in sometimes the education process. We have seen sometimes other institutions which undercut, they underdeliver in terms of this, you know, the quality and so on. And also, of course, for students also who only want a paper, they don't care whether they are learning and being transformed. Of course, so it makes sometimes the competition a bit unfair.
Okay. And I'm happy that you're learning how to refocus and remain true to what God has called you. What has been most rewarding for ILU?
That's maybe the 1,500 graduates that are out there. Many of them are bringing transformation in very significant ways. We get to hear from them from time to time, and just that's encouraging. It helps us to stay focused, to stay in that space, because you can see what the impact of that is. I think the other one is also just some of the ways that even during this time of refocusing that God has helped us. Specifically, I would say we have seen a lot of people just a lot of goodwill. During Corona, we actually appealed to people who would teach pro bono because we didn't want to get into debt. We wanted to stay within the means that we had. And we actually, most times we've had more people offering than the classes that we needed. So just seeing that when you're faithful to that calling, when you stay in your space, but also I believe it's because we are reaping on the back of the faithfulness of many people who built this name. So as they say, a name is more important than money.
It is. Reputation is so important.
And so we are reaping from that.
Awesome. What are some of the programs that you offer here? If I wanted to, get some form of education or training,
thank you.
What are some of the programs I can expect?
Yes, we have basically 3 schools. The first and the oldest is the School of Theology and Christian Ministry. So this is the one that has focused on training pastors as well as other leaders for the church. And so people who often have a calling to form a form of ministry, whether they're working with the children or youth or adults or the pastoral ministry. And we are trying to grow their impact as well, so that they can also serve those who also want to go into frontier missions and areas like that. Then the second one is the area of leadership and governance. That really is our kind of a flagship right now. And we have programs in the area at the bachelor's level in the area of marketing, business administration, and organizational development. At the master's level, we offer a Christian ministry leadership, masters and leadership in the Christian ministry. We also offer one in the area of the organizational development. and also management. At the PhD level, we offer studies in the area of Christian ministry as well. We offer one for corporate leadership, public governance, and also educational leadership. So all of those are.
And this is open
areas.
To pastors, leaders, and general.
For leadership is open to everyone.
To everybody.
Yeah. The theology tends to be more people going into ministry, but leadership and governance is open.
Yeah.
Then of course counseling, psychology, again all the way from certificate to masters.
So you've had, if you're a pastor, you need to get an education. Yes. ILU is the place to be.
It's true. And I could hasten to say that we also are willing to offer short courses. Okay. Not everybody may be able to come for an academic program, so we are happy to tailor-make those for audiences that would want that. And
an academic program will be what?
It's
2 years, 4 years?
Yeah, 2 years for masters, 4 years for bachelors, 4 years for PhD.
Wow. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So pastors, you can get education, you can get empowered to be able to serve your community.
That's true.
And to the general Christians, there are many programs.
It's true. And there are many other certificate and diploma programs. Certificates are 1 year, diplomas are 2 years. So there are also a wide variety there.
Awesome. Yeah. Now let's get to know about Dr. Kiruhi. You see the way he's so composed. Today I'm so composed, right? All right. So tell us, you said you've been the VC for 2 years. What were you doing before that? How does one become a VC?
Well, I'm not sure whether my journey is a standard one, because my first degree is in engineering, mechanical engineering.
Okay.
That's where I started my journey.
Yes.
But I quickly found out I enjoyed working with people. And so over time I was able to establish...
And engineering, you're not working with people.
It's often coal and metals, especially maybe the branch of engineering I was in.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to be in the space of working with people, empowering people, and developing people.
Yeah.
So I went into ministry that allowed me to do that. And then I eventually moved into my master's, and was in leadership studies, organizational leadership, and also my PhD. So before this time, for the last 10 years or so, I was mainly doing leadership training. It's a sister organization to ILU. We call it International Leadership Foundation, where we'd offer short courses. Yeah. So I've done that in many, many countries of Africa and even outside of Africa. And but I also felt that, but at the same time, because I was studying, I was also teaching here as an adjunct faculty member. And I guess that's why the leadership, then maybe the governance organs, thought to invite me now in the capacity of the Vice Chancellor.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I pray that you will achieve everything God desires for you to achieve in ILU, to advance your purpose and also to advance the purpose that ILU has. Now, we are here because of the African Christian Authors Book Award. It's all about books. Yes. So maybe the most critical question to ask, do you read? Away from academic work.
Away from academic work. No, I'm not necessarily an avid reader. But I do read when I want to get into something or to prepare sometimes for a speaking series and so on. So currently I'm reading a book called The Ride of a Lifetime. This was a gift from my daughter. So partly I'm reading to honor her.
Yes, you have to. You have to.
It is the story of one of the CEOs, Robert Inga. He was a CEO of Walt Disney for 15 years. And so he just kind of, and this is the kind of the genre of books I like, also factual. So biographies, autobiographies, or real life stories. So I feel like I learn a lot more from that rather than fantasy and so on.
Okay, awesome. I think we are on the same boat on that one. I just don't want to do fiction. I know there are some people here who are like, oh, this is a very good fiction, read or, movie, and I'm like, no, I just want the real thing.
The factual.
Okay.
And so on,
Your favorite Christian book by an African, what would that be? Or maybe we start international, then African.
Okay. I think international, of course, and maybe it's been a world bestseller, was, The Purpose-Driven Life by Rick Warren.
Good book.
Good book, but also just really it's not done simply. He didn't complicate it, although he tackles very important issues. But also because I got to hear the story behind the book. I think sometimes as we also get to hear the author and the story behind the book. That maybe made me even appreciate it a lot more.
Yes.
African, maybe I would say, I think Tokumbo Adeyemo was, it remains one of my favorite because it talks about the continent and transformation, looks at the issue of how we are resourceful, whether it's his book is Africa Cast, or others that he has, a series of others, his books remain some favorites, yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
If you had a chance to invite one of the, African Christian author, and want to have a sit-in, like I'm honored to have a sit-in with you, which author would that be?
Maybe at the wider level of Africa, I would think of somebody who's been a mentor to me, and I've worked with him for a long time, Professor Delanyo Adadevo. He's Ghanaian. He's authored well over 10 books in the space of leadership. So again, it's because maybe I happen to know his life.
Yes.
So that tends to influence, I guess, my appreciation of the books.
Yes.
But he's also written books that are very spot on in terms of Africa, its transformation.
Yeah.
So that's one of them.
Awesome.
But I can say maybe a local one is John Nganga. John Nganga is and Dr. Professor Adedebo was our chancellor here at ILU for a season of time.
Yeah.
John Nganga is one of our alumni, in the area of leadership. He's written many books, but what I like about him is that he writes on the go, so I think he's an encouragement to me and others like me who don't always, consider ourselves authors because he just writes as he goes.
Yeah.
He's doing a speaking series, usually translates that into a book.
Yeah.
So I find that that's easy and gets the material out there, but also the spirit with which he writes. He writes to bless people.
Yes.
He tells me it's not about making money.
Yes.
It's about getting the
That's
message out there.
That's where we are going wrong because we, some people want to write to become rich and we're like, the motivation is wrong in the first place.
Right.
Awesome.
So,
Wow. Okay. So maybe you can tell anybody who doesn't know about ILU, how do we get to ILU? Where are you situated?
Okay, thank you.
And how, if I'm driving or I'm taking a matatu, how do I get to this place?
Okay, well, thank you. We are in Kilimani. Kilimani is a suburb of Nairobi. Maybe the most famous small town is Hurlingham. And you can get to us in Pound Public using bus number 46. You'll drop off at a place called Quality, or where there's a 4 Point by Sheraton, a new hotel. We are just about 200 meters from there on Mtito Road. We are also right next to Kilimani Police Station, so it's a good landmark, Kilimani Police Station. Today with Google, you'll be able to find us very easily. But we are soon going to be moving our headquarters. We'll keep this campus as a city campus, but our headquarters is going to be in Kilikitengela. We are building a campus there on 50 acres, to have more space, to be able to do more and offer more programs. So that's going to be our new address as well.
Awesome.
Yes, but welcome to the International Leadership University.
Awesome. So we had some books we want to feature. I know we are not prepared you for this, so it's impromptu, so that we can just get to hear. But I also see that you have some books by some of your authors who it will be interesting to engage them in the African Christian Authors Book Award.
Sure.
So we have this book. It's The Train of Blood by Brian Mbego, and it's about the sacrificial love of redemption. Maybe you can tell us a sentence or two about that topic. What do you think this topic would contribute to our community?
I think today we possibly are not emphasizing a lot about the work of Christ, so I think this book brings it back to the center. I think there's a movie that was done a while back that, again, The Passion of Christ.
The Passion of Christ,
I think that's what comes to mind, even the imagery here.
Yes.
And I think it just really helps you to appreciate, again, the depth of that commitment with which you are purchased.
Awesome. Do you do poetry?
No, I tried when I was in school.
And what happened?
I realized it was not my space.
Okay, so I'll read for you this one. This is Beautiful Thoughts by Jane Harrell. And it's a collection of poems. It presents everyday reflections prayers, testimonies, and real life experiences. To make you sit down, to reflect, break forth into prayer or praise, and to soar with joy. So maybe I can ask you, what is the place of having daily meditations in a Christian's walk?
Oh no, that's very important. I think today, of course, with the fast life and everything again on the go, it's really important to be able to take time to do that. That's my best time of the day, when I can be able to pull back, get away from everything else, and spend some time both with the Lord, but sometimes even just to reflect. Some of the ideas that I've been able to even implement at work are ideas that came during those still times. So I think I do appreciate that Jane Harrells, I happen to know the author. So
you
her
happen to know or not to know?
To know her.
Oh, you know her, yes, because of
Elnet,
Rose.
And she was also involved with Elnet. So basically, I'm happy that he is able to bring this contribution to help us to be able to be still and to reflect, to connect with ourselves, with God, and with our context as well.
Awesome. We have another book, Dreams on a Motorcycle. Now this is he says it's by Dr. Kevin Rombosia. He is an actual doctor, so not academic doctor. And he's written about a riveting life story. So he's a medical doctor. And Dreams on a Motorcycle travels the reader through a journey of resilience in different seasons of life, with honest and lucid articulation. He describes his life's journey and parallels this with how motorcycling has pushed him on this journey. Maybe to ask, the question to ask is, of course I know now you like factual books, so that's your kind of book.
Yes, this is a life story,
Even as ILU, maybe how are you promoting people to be able to document their journeys? Because I think one of the things that we are missing in our society, I don't know whether it's African society, but it's the fact that we don't document too many things.
It's true.
Which becomes a challenge, because then you go through something, you go through challenges, then I have to come after you and go through the same challenges. So we are not developing. So what is the place of biographies and memoirs in our culture?
Sure. It's a personal challenge of mine. I've been asked by a few friends to take time to do that, so I hope I can do that soon. But on our new campus, we are going to be building a leaders retreat and conference center. And part of what we have felt is that we would like to offer a place where leaders can come to reflect. So talking about reflection, where they can come and just rest and recuperate, recover, because sometimes people go through burnout. But also they can be able to record. So those are our 3 R's, to rest, to reflect, and to record.
Awesome.
And by recording, we mean that we'll help them to be able to publish their experiences so that they can help other people. So it is something that is very much in our space in terms of what to be able to do that.
I will also come.
With that.
William, so you spare a spot for me in the leaders retreat, because it's important for us to be able to do that.
It is.
There's another book, Treasures in Sackcloth. This is Esther, and she does the same. So this is a book of hope and encouragement beyond the grim news and photos that we see and hear in the media during times of crisis. It is true that conflicts aggravate population displacement, disrupt economic activity, food production, and destroy many homes and public infrastructure. So Esther has worked in some of the humanitarian spaces, and so she documents that. And this is also a documentation. I don't know whether there's something as ILU you're doing with what on places or where there's conflict.
I think this is really important. If the same story was told maybe by the donor agencies, they'll look at the negatives, because it's the negative stories that sell. But when we write our own story as Africans, I think we need to write it with a different spin, with a different perspective. And part of it is that's why we are very strong on students, of course, being able to reflect culturally on their work. So we want to make sure that at least a third of the authorities that somebody would cite for a thesis or even a half would be local sources. Because in that way you are reflecting on what you do. But secondly, part of what we want to do is that we'll have 2 main semesters from September to December, then January to April. During the May to August trimester, or now, the third semester, we actually want to take the students and the faculty to go together to actually do outreach by way of taking what we have here to benefit communities.
Excellent.
And I think that's another way of really keeping our feet on the ground as we go out there to communities that maybe will never be able to access higher education here, but we can be a blessing to them. We can be able to do that, not only in leadership, but also in theology, in counseling. And we think that would really help impact the church and the communities out there.
Wow, that's such a noble initiative, and of course CLC will be rallying, behind you to help in whichever ways. Because I'm just thinking
your book, distribution or some other things in that space.
Because I'm thinking maybe even a certificate course to a pastor in the middle of nowhere. That would really be so empowering, it will make a difference. All right, so we have the last book, which is Public Speaking and Body Language Skills. This is by Anthony Bitter. And I don't know whether we are teaching this so much in, for our younger generation. Public speaking used to be such a big deal, for our generation, the older generation. But for the new one, they are behind the screen, so they can type whatever they want to type. What is the place of public speaking in making of a leader?
No, it's actually one of the courses that we offer, in our leadership program. Because we still think that even though you possibly will be able to do a lot of the communication through the computer or through email or other forms of social media and so on, there will still be those times that you are up front. And especially as you grow, as you become better at what you do, and even when you are behind the screen, say on a Zoom platform, you still need some public speaking skills. And basically you have a lot of experience now to share, and we think you need to be able to do it in the best way possible. And I think again, because we don't have as much of this being taught culturally. We used to come with some of this, because they told you, don't do this, don't put your hands here or whatever, some of those norms and so on. Today there's no one to tell maybe our young people, because we know the new situation is that we don't have traditional cultural kind of context very, very strongly. So I think this is really has its time and place.
Excellent. It's been a very good conversation at CLC, and Akaba will be encouraging as many Christians that we are working with, as many leaders, as many pastors, that you need to get empowered. And ILU is one of the platforms that you'll be able to get into. Now, I want you to send a message to our authors. It's been a very difficult year, last year and this year, for everybody trying to adjust in the pandemic. What word of encouragement would you have for authors?
Well, thank you. First of all, to congratulate you for having gone through the hard work of being able to publish your thoughts and experiences, and to be able to put this in print so that it's available now to a large audience and for a long time to come. So congratulations on that feat. But yes, the next step, of course, is to make sure that this book is in wide circulation. And although it may not be necessarily by way of making lots of money, you want to have, of course, a big impact. So I do wish each one of you all the very best in that. And maybe the perspective to maintain is that, just staying in your space, being faithful to God's calling for you. I believe that you will never outgive him. So look for creative ways. Look for ways that may go beyond, out of the ordinary. During this time of the pandemic, we found that we could not just run business as usual. We had to look for creative ways to make sure we can get to what we need to do, but maybe not following the norm, and so on, so long as, of course, it's ethical. So look for those spaces. Could there be people you can partner with, whether it's bookshops or ministries, churches, institutions like ours, to be able to do that? We are partners in this together. Behind me, you can see a large array of books that have been authored by our students, alumni now, and our faculty. So we also do believe in the power of the written word. And again, we believe that this is a way that we'll be able to impact not just this generation, but generations to come. Thank you. God bless you.
Excellent. Thank you very much for having us. So we have a gift for you, and we are all about books.
Thank you.
We brought a gift that is a book. So we have the CLC Bible Companion. It's a great resource. It helps you to discover the content, understand the truths, and apply the message. It's a resource done by CLC International, and it's once you learn how to use it, especially when you want to go somewhere quiet and you don't want to carry your tablet or your phone or your computer, this is a great resource, and it's also a very great resource for pastors. So we are gifting you this.
Thank you very much.
And we pray that as you go through it, you'll be able to, it will add value to your Bible study time.
Sure.
Awesome.
No, thank you. This is really powerful.
You're most
very
welcome.
Much appreciated, yes.
Then we have another book we are very passionate about. It's a company of owners, and it talks about maximizing employee engagement. It's by Darren Martin from the US. So maybe you can go through it and tell me what you think about it.
Thank you. It's an easy reader, first of all, and then seems to get to the heart of organizations as people. I like that idea of owners, not just employees. Yes. So I think that's something we definitely can do here.
Yes.
And I look forward to us being able to build an institution that's made up of owners. Thank you
awesome.
very much.
You're very much welcome, and thank you very much for having us, and also for the partnership with African Christian Authors Book Award. The International Leadership University will be partnering with us to be able to empower you authors post the gala, so that you can become better leaders, you can become better entrepreneurs, so that you can use your books to be able to impact our communities. Thank you very much, Dr. Kiruhi. Now that it's COVID time, it is got.
Indeed. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.